Hey guys, so I just finished my math homework and now I'm gonna go do my chore, which is taking out the compost. And so the question of the day is, what do you like to do on a Saturday around 6 once you finish your homework? I think I'm gonna probably just hang out outside in the backyard until Brian gets home. So don't forget to comment down below, cause I wanna know. The question of the day is, what do you like to do on a Saturday around 6ish after you're done with your homework?
So Lianna and I didn't spend much time together until the last few years when we realized we're cousins, and she really leaned into that and made me feel super special about our cousinship. And it was the supreme honor of my life to make it onto her daily nighttime good morning text contact list, and I felt really connected to her. And when she would call me, we'd chat about what she ate that day, what I ate that day, Gilmore Girls, what episode she was on. Just an absolute delight and joy and comfort, and it's a treat to have her in my life, and I carry her with me around a lot.
The thing I remember most about Lianna is her sense of humor. It was so easy to make her laugh. Something as simple as saying what to her dad would get her to laugh. And when she was laughing and smiling, the whole room was smiling.
I really enjoyed how Lily seemed to always have inside jokes with a lot of Alex's friends, and for some reason with me, we pretended like we were girlfriends from Sex and the City. So she would give me a call out of the blue and say, "Hey, what did you do today?" And I'd say, "I went to work," and she'd say, "Yeah." And then I would ask her, "Well, what did you do?" And she'd say, "I baked some cookies," and I would respond, "Yeah." And then I'd say, "What'd you do after that?" And she'd say, "I went to a dance party at the youth bureau," and I'd say, "Yeah, you did." And so we had these little, funny engagements with each other. I'll really miss those, and I'll miss her.
So Lianna and I had a bit that lasted 18 years, the entire time that I knew her. And that bit was to speak to each other in very exaggerated, fancy British accents and refer to each other as darling. So it started one weekend when I was babysitting her. I think I needed to redirect her from something, and the only thing I could think of was to speak in a silly British accent, and boy did she roll with it. So for 18 years, every time she called me, every time we spoke, we called each other darling and asked about our fancy days and all the fancy things we were doing.
Heavens to Murgatroyd. She would say it within 10 seconds of any conversation I had in person on the phone. And it wasn't just the word, it was that she was brimming with joy and expectation about how fun it was to talk to you. And there is nobody on the planet, not even remotely, who has that kind of happiness and joy over talking to you. And she did it with every single person in her life. Love you, Leelert.
For 25 years, I could always count on the fact that every conversation with Lily, in person, on FaceTime, on the phone, would start with a boisterous, "Hello, Samuel." As I look back on those 2 words, maybe 3 if she really held the ooh, they exemplified the love, affection, and comic genius that flowed from Lily. And that is what we will all miss so dearly.
Like so many fortunate people, so much of my conversations with Lee would just be inside jokes on repeat, with me hysterically laughing, as well as Lee. Our 2 most popular ones that we could just go on repeat for extended periods of time would be our Hubie impersonation, Hubie, hello Hubie, and Can't Take Her Anywhere.
When I think of Lianna, I think of a mouthful of pesto, grinning ear to ear, with the most wonderful laugh I think I've ever heard. Her laugh could light up a room. It was usually induced by one of her siblings or one of her inside jokes, but it truly could heal. And I am so grateful to have experienced that.
I'm Lianna's cousin and am blessed that I knew her whole life. We had many phone conversations and FaceTime conversations, and what I will miss most is her laugh. She had the best laugh, and no matter what was going on, her laughter always lifted me up and brought me joy.
Hi guys, so today I'm going to tell you what I did today. So today I made heart cookies and I went to Loaves and Fishes and vacuumed and washed tables and stuff like that. So now I'm gonna think of the question of the day. The question of the day is, what is your favorite thing to do at night on a Wednesday night? I forgot what day it was. I'm losing my mind. So don't forget to comment down below, cause I want to know. The question of the day is, what is your favorite thing to do Wednesday night, peeps? Alright, bye TTFN, ta-ta for now, bye.
We are some of Lily's cousins. I'm Becca.
I'm Ellie. And I'm Noah.
And some of our favorite memories of Lee were cooking and baking with Lee in Weld.
Me, Nikki, and Lily would always make desserts, and it was so much fun.
And Lee was always a joy to be with when she was baking. She was singing, she was dancing, spinning around. It was a real Lee experience.
And I really appreciated the patience with which she approached any baking and cooking activity in which I was required. And she was so patient when she was waiting for me to get to the kitchen. We love you, Lee.
I learned from Lianna that it's better when everyone gets a prize. Because when I accidentally baked something truly disgusting for her birthday bake-off, she very quickly and very sweetly came up with a new prize for me of healthiest harvest.
Hi, I'm Chelsea. I'm a friend of Lianna's from DC. My favorite memory with Lily was the time that she hosted a baking competition in honor of her birthday. And I have to say, I did win the title of Best Baker. It was just such a fun evening with so much joy and happiness, and it's a memory I'll always cherish.
A favorite memory that I have of Lily was when I was lucky to get an invite to her 27th birthday party at Nikki's, and she held a baking contest that she was the judge of because she had come fresh off some recent victories for healthiest cupcake, and she awarded me the prize and gave me an apron that she had decorated, and it was really fun, and she was really special, and we'll miss her.
One of my very fondest memories is just being with Lianna through many times when she was struggling, whether it be when Chris and Marcy went away for a weekend and she was bereft and wanted to talk to her dad every minute that they were gone, and how she and I were able to get together and do some really fun things and play some games and sing songs and make and bake. She was just starting to bake, I remember this one weekend. And we made cupcakes, and I think you've all heard the story of how she made these really great cupcakes, and we couldn't get them out of the cupcake pan. So we sold muffin tops instead of cupcakes. We had lots of little muffin tops. That was a riot. Another really sweet memory I have of her is buying her cookies. And she sold me cookies for $10, and then she said, no, I would rather charge you $20. And so I sent her a $20 bill, and she sent me this really beautifully packed box of crumbs, actually, by the time it got here. It was hilarious, but they were really good. They were really good. She really got that down to being very good. Gonna miss that little urchin.
Here for the Putney and Whitefish Whites. They are camera shy, but they've lent their comments. Bill says there will always be lobster mac and cheese here for you, Lee. She could annoy you to no end and then say something and give you that sweet smile, and you melted. Every time I saw her, she asked me how a pet was. This summer, she kept asking about Ezra, Lori's dog, who she probably only met once years ago. From these, we know she taught us what was really important, each other and love.
Hi, I'm Gene. I'm Lianna's uncle.
And I'm Gail. I'm Lianna's aunt.
I think the thing that most comes to mind in my experiences with Lianna, which go back many years, every time we spoke, she asked me, the first thing she asked me was, how are your dogs? Or how is Sophia? Or usually it was Sophia. For some reason, she glommed onto Sophia. And she always remembered the names of each dog back to the beginning of when she recognized dogs. That's what I remember the most.
And what I appreciated most about Lianna was how inquisitive she was. She was the best conversationalist that I ever knew. And she always asked me what new ice cream flavors Ben & Jerry's was coming out with. And she knew which ones were her favorite, and she always wanted to share and talk about the ice cream flavors.
Hi, my name is Randy Beckman, and I was Lianna's teacher at Bell Sherman School. I typically didn't take friends' children in my class, but Susan said she would be in my class, and there came Lianna. Lianna was spirited, smiley, and persistent. She decided she needed to bring her pet turtle, Jerry, to class, and there was no dissuading her. We put him in the tank with our class turtle, and it didn't end so well for our class pet. We'd say to Lianna, "It's time for circle or math," and she'd say, "I'm coming. I'll be there." And she taught me to wait for her to be ready, because she always did what was asked of her at her very own pace. I've learned to accept people for who they are and for whatever pace.
Same as it ever was. 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 Same as it ever was.
come on over, baby, we can shake, shake, shake. And the play. Baby, I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. Shake it off, 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 shake it off.
Many of you know that in her bid to become more independent, Lianna has
Moved on with my life. Leaving Kurt and Chaco. As sad as it is, I'm leaving Kurt and Chaco tomorrow. But I'll miss them. I'll mostly miss Kurt snoring.
So Lee has been living with us since June, I think, right, Lee?
Yup.
And she has made amazing progress becoming more independent. And I think we should all give Lee. She said today that I should write a song for her moving along. She's now, instead of being 2 houses away, or is it 3 houses away? She's going to move to a new neighborhood.
A whole new neighborhood with Nina.
So we wrote a song, and Lee's going to sing a song along with us.
Great.
About her move.
Yep.
All right. Make sure we don't. So we wrote this out.
Goodbye, Kurt and Chico. Hello, Nina. Goodbye, Kurt and Chico. Hello, Nina. And Chico. Hello, Nina. I will visit Frog sometime, but I will mostly be in Tree.
We will miss you, Lee, when you move to Tree, but we'll see you round the hood.
That's good. Goodbye, Kurt and Chico. Hello, Nina. Goodbye, Kurt and Chico. Hello, Nina. Goodbye, Kurt and Chico. Hello, Nina. We'll visit Frog sometime, but I will mostly live in Tree.
Lianna, you are missed. Your fun-spirited nature, the way you advocated for yourself so profoundly. I'll miss arguing with you at the supermarket about a food that I consider to be a luxury item and you consider to be a clear necessity. Your enthusiasm, your deeply caring presence. I will miss you.
I remember when we broke up the first time.
Saying this and I had enough because like we haven't seen each other in a month. When you said
You needed what?
Then you come around again and say, baby, I miss you and I sure I'm gonna change. Trust me, remember how the last before day. I say, I hate you, we break up, you call me, I love you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Off again last night. Said, ooh, 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 ooh. This time, I'm telling you, we are never, ever, ever getting back together. We are never, ever, ever get back together. You go talk to my friends, talk to your friends, talk to me. 'Cause we are never, ever, ever getting back together.
Hi, Lee. I miss you every single day, but especially on Tuesdays, which used to be our day we used to spend together. I miss the lead up to make sure that I called the house. I miss the texts to make sure that it was going to be nice weather outside so that we could end our arguments about whether it was going to rain or not rain and sit inside or outside. To this day, I have the Trumansburg weather that's always on my phone to make sure that I can understand the difference between the Trumansburg weather and the Ithaca weather, just in case it might rain in Trumansburg and not in Ithaca. I miss you asking about what battery charge is enough for your phone, or what the best weather is going to be that's coming up. And I miss having desserts with you every Tuesday, including chocolate mice and almond crescents, and even when you yelled at me because I brought you the wrong dessert, which happened frequently, so I apologize. But I'm never going to be able to look at a chocolate mouse the same way. I love you so much, and I miss you, and I miss you so much.
So my name is Aiden Renahan. I grew up with Alex and Nikki and Lianna. I have a lot of funny childhood memories of Lianna. She always called me Madeline, like the book character, and I genuinely cannot remember why, and it went on for so long. I'm sure it's because I did some funny voice one time and she made me call me Madeline, but I think it's because she knew that I needed to be taken down a peg or two. And she's pretty relentless about it. It was very funny. Lianna was very mischievous. She was always in an adventure. And so she would always egg Alex and I on into doing sort of stuff, and then she would immediately be the first one to tell on us. I think she just liked the show. I remember one time we put Nikki's betta fish in with the other fish to see if they would fight, because we read that betta fish would fight other fish, not realizing that that's not how any of it worked. And Lianna was like, yeah, do it. And then literally the second Nikki walked in, she was like, oh man, Nikki, Alex and Aiden are doing a bad thing. Like I said, I think she just liked the chaos. She was really special. She was a fun time and always up for a good joke or a good laugh. So I miss you immensely, Lianna.
Hi, my name is Brooke. Lianna is one of my younger cousins, and what Lianna taught me was the importance of keeping in touch with people and sharing memories, which I will account to her love of inside jokes and enthusiasm around sharing those and remembering them. She often, when we talked, would reference inside jokes that have been going on for 20 years, and I love that about her, and I miss her all the time.
Hi everyone, I'm Jared. My memory of Lily growing up was going to soccer games and sitting in the back of the minivan, like in the back row, and I'd sit in the back with like Alex and Minka. And Lily would sit in front of us and turn around and ask us questions throughout the drive to entertain us and herself. I always found it super fun. At one point, she decided to call me Ima and Minka Mr. Truck, so we were Ima and Mr. Truck. Not really sure how it started, but it continued on, and every time I see her, she'd ask me, she's like, how's Mr. Truck? How's Mr. Truck doing? Asking about Minka, and then at some point she used to refer to me sometimes as Mr. Truck. I'm not really sure where the which one was supposed to be which one, but it was a really cute nickname, and I think I saw her maybe a couple of years ago at a Hanukkah party, and this is like 15 years later. We made potato latkes, and she was like, "How's Mr. Truck? How's Mr. Truck?" So it was a really nice memory, and thank you for letting me share it.
Growing up, I was always really happy to see Lily because she had this incredibly distinct and irreverent sense of humor that would be followed with a contagious laugh that would have the whole room in stitches. With her, there was no small talk. She loved asking the hard-hitting questions and seeing her subjects squirm under her interrogation. I think she really understood the power that she had and enjoyed exercising it. Maybe nobody more so than with her brother Alex. And I think he really benefited and learned a lot from these situations.
The thing I miss most about Lianna is her sense of humor and her laugh. When she was feeling well, she loved life. She loved to dance, she loved to sing, she loved to put on skits and performances with Nikki and Jane, and I will miss that and treasure those memories forever.
Lianna, 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 so much love, so many lessons. You loved baking, eating, food, what was for lunch, what was for dinner, pesto pasta, cauliflower pizza, sometimes a veggie. You loved Taylor Swift, boogieing, dancing, let's not forget Adam Levine either, and Disney and Gilmore Girls. But so much fun was talking about toys with me. Our passion was Sesame Street and the names of all of the puppeteers, as well as all of the characters that they played. And all of the stuffed animals, from Webkins to Animoodles. Unbelievable. What an amazing human. Love you, love you, love you.
Genius! Best sister! I miss you so much. I miss you every day. But I just want to thank you for teaching me so much patience and compassion and problem-solving skills, because you're a piece of work, always. I miss reading to you every night. I miss reading Ramona Quimby, age 8, over and over and over again. Stuart Little, over and over and over again. I miss counting down the days till our next sleepover. Love you so much.
Hey, dork. That's what you would call me. We miss you every day, especially at 10 a.m. when you would text to see if we could FaceTime that night, even though I told you you didn't need to text me every morning to confirm FaceTime every night. And then at 6 p.m. when you would call and ask what we were having for dinner and if we were watching Curious George. What I really want to know is what inside jokes you have with Mom. What do you call each other? We miss you every day, and we will do our best to keep that giggly, bubbly spirit alive with us forever. Love you, Lily.
Lianna and I wanted the same thing. That guy. Which could make us adversaries, particularly at times when Chris and I were trying to get away, like on this island or out to dinner, and the 17 texts and the 32 phone calls came in. But Lianna and I were also great allies. Anytime Chris and I were not agreeing, she would take my side. She would say things like, "Dad, listen to your wife," or "Listen to Mom," or "Yeah, White." And the two of us would look at each other, and we'd bring our hand up and we would make this sign. And Chris wouldn't even know it was happening, the "he's crazy" sign. But most of all, Lianna's heart shone through, particularly after her stroke, when the right side of her body was shut down and the left side of her brain was fighting to come back online. Everybody who came in the room, she treated with equal love and compassion. Lianna White, I will miss you as adversary. I will miss you as ally. And most of all, I'll miss that deep love and compassion.
Lianna, even her name was unique. Her mom, Susan, wanted to give her a name that started with the letter L, in honor of a woman named Lurleen who helped to raise her and her siblings. Looking in the name books, we couldn't find one that was just right, so we made up our own. I had the privilege and responsibility of being the father of Lianna for almost 30 years. She touched a lot of people with her special brand of curiosity, enthusiasm, and sometimes bossiness. Her journey through life was not an easy one. All the normal milestones were delayed, sometimes by quite a lot. And she had one health challenge after another. But she was able to keep a pretty positive outlook. Despite her cognitive challenges, she was very intuitive, a great communicator, and an expert at getting what she wanted. Of course, I couldn't have handled all the responsibilities of Lianna myself, and there are far too many people to name, but some of the most important ones were her mom, Susan, stepmom, Marcy, sister Nikki, brother Alex, Aunt Karen, Brian, Carmel, and Maya. Then there were countless teachers, aides, therapists, friends, family, who helped to give her a good life. One little vignette: when Lianna and I were driving around in the car, she would always put on the Light Rock station, Light Rock 97.3, and she knew all the words to most of the songs and had little hand gestures to go with them. Occasionally at the top of the hour, I would switch to NPR and listen to the news headlines. She would say, "Boringsk." She and I had a special little language thing we did where we would add SK to the end of words. So in the morning, she would call me up and say, "Morningsk," or "How's my fish, Nemosk, doing?" Many people have talked about the bright light that was Lianna. For all those who knew and loved her, let's try to keep that light shining with all the memories and love we have for Lianna Shalik White.
Want to say life will go on, so bye.